this season on The Paddock. We enter our second season of professional touring car racing. It's still about the cars. It's still about the company. But really, it's about the people.
I hope that makes it in his face.
Last year's season of The Paddock ended with our last race at Watkins Glen International. But that's not where the motorsport season actually ends. Behind the scenes and off the cameras at FCP Euro, the team worked tirelessly to not only fund, but prep for the upcoming 2019 season. What is funny about FCP Euro and the motorsports program specifically is that it never really shuts off, even if it means there's no races actually happening. To kick off a year, really it comes down to one big event, and that's SEMA and Apex in Las Vegas.
So SEMA and Apex is one of the biggest automotive events pretty much in the US. It's where people make things happen for the next year. It really determines what your following year is going to look like.
One of the biggest misconceptions is we're out there enjoying the sights and sounds of Vegas, right? You got the hotels, the casinos, the parties, and things like that. It's nothing like that. We are literally cooped up inside of a basement of a hotel all day long, meeting with brands in really stuffy rooms. It's loud, it's uncomfortable. A lot of the footage that I tried to get from the event is literally on my cell phone because we're asking companies for $1 million deals, and I don't want them to be freaked out by some dude who just whips out a camera when they're about to sign on the dotted line. So we put together basically a pamphlet that sort of outlines what we're looking to do with not only the motorsports program and how that makes sense, but what the company should be doing. Having something physical that feels good kind of legitimizes ourselves and shows people that we're going to deliver on the expectations that people are asking of us.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Nobody cares about the racing. The racing is an emotional component to it, and it's really exciting and it creates a lot of stature, but at the end of the day, our brands care about what we're selling, what kind of products we're selling for them, and how much we do in revenue. So the racing is a small component of our total marketing plan, which creates a high level of attraction and stature, and then we capture that digitally and put it out into the paddock like this video and through social media, and we use that as attraction to get people to our catalog and let them know that we sell European car parts, and hopefully they buy parts.
We've been going to SEMA and Apex pretty much since we were established online in 2001. But at that point, we were still very, very small, and a lot of people wouldn't talk to us. The manufacturer said we don't sell to online retailers, so it was a struggle for quite some time, and it's very different now. Michael and team had big aspirations for 2019, and they went out with a very, very aggressive plan.
I think we had something like 50 or 60 meetings lined up for 2 days.
First meeting went well, and the second meeting went well, and my concern wasn't what if we don't get any sponsors. My big concern is what if all of them agreed to sponsor our organization.
One of the best stories, the funniest stories from this year at SEMA is that we go out and we ask a bunch of these brands whether they want to be a part of our program or not. On the plane, our president, Nick Bauer, asked Mike Rivera, who's our catalog director, who is the guy that actually needs to make all of this stuff happen on the catalog side.
Nick turned to Mike and he said, have you ever considered, what if they all say yes?
And he was like, no way.
Mike Rivera finally realized, holy they're all gonna say yes.
And they all said yes.
They all said yes. I'm following the text messages and I see, landed the first $200,000 deal. Oh, we've got this $200,000 deal, and all of a sudden it was 4 or 5 or 6.
Scott's texting us saying, guys, you gotta slow down. he asked Michael, he's like,
where the f are we gonna put all these sponsors on the car? How are we gonna meet all these deliverables?
and Michael kind of does this like little smile and is like, don't worry about it, I got it.
And we ended up with 8 total partners for next year. And we're partnered with Liqui-Moly, Corteco, ZF Aftermarket, Bosch Automotive Aftermarket, Akebono, 034 Motorsport, Heinlein Racing Development, and Dead Pedal. And that's pretty huge for us because this is a really big step up for FCP Euro in terms of stature and content, and having these big name partners on board really lends to our credibility as well.
You know, trying to kind of design the livery and make sure that all the manufacturers and brands were happy was definitely a worry of mine.
So I mean, we have little Volkswagen, so it's not easy to stick 8 partners and give equal love to all of them.
We had a couple people trying to design liveries. I was doing it on Microsoft Paintbrush. I was actually drawing it on a napkin. Michael Hergen was doing his own thing, and
kind of hit my wall in terms of bandwidth and creative talent to be able to put 8 partners onto the car and still have an evolution of the design and make everything look kosher.
And we needed to kind of look to somebody who had done this before and done it really well. And that person is Andy Blackmore.
Pretty much the only one that I reached out to. He's the guy when you Google livery design. Even with working with Andy Blackmore, I still had to spend a lot of time making sure that the partners were being represented in appropriate capacity, appropriate weighting of their logos, where they're going to sit on the car, kind of what I promised them in person. And we are probably a pain in the butt because we're very particular, and there was a lot of revisions. I mean, dozens and dozens of revisions, but at the end of the day, I think we came out with something that's really remarkable. It shows all our partners very well, and it represents FCPO very well as well.
And to be able to say that this evolution of a livery for FCP Euro Motorsports is designed by Andy Blackmore is a pretty big deal.
It's not just the livery, it's the crew shirts, it's the race suits, all the apparel that we have to go along to make us look like a proper professional team.
So everyone that works on the motorsports program, whether it be Nate and Michael as the drivers, or the content team filming it, or any role in the organization, they have other duties. We still have to run a business. Like, look at us here. We are literally in the middle of a distribution center to show that this is where we are. It's not just some shiny, glamorous motorsports operation. That's a completely separate entity that we do all this fun racing stuff. So for me to bring that to the company in such a way where we can not only include them in signing the race cars, but make a big grand reveal out of it has become almost a little bit of a tradition.
When I'm in the paddock or I'm at a car show and someone asks me about one of these cars, my favorite part to show people is the rear wing. All the signatures from last year, and that goes everywhere with the car, and that is so much of our culture and so much of who we are right there. Whether the car's traveling 100 miles an hour down straightaway or just sitting in a parking lot with a bunch of other cars at a car show. That is us. That is this company. So we've wiped those off, and to prepare ourselves for 2019, the cars have a brand new livery, which I'm super excited to pull the covers back and show you. But I'd like to invite everyone downstairs to grab a silver Sharpie and sign the wings of the car. So let's go.
It's actually one of my favorite parts of the year is to be able to share this with everyone and say, it's not just the motorsports team over here doing this and you guys are over here. We're all the same team. We're literally in the same building.
Guys are cruising down the track doing 100 miles an hour. The entire company's backed. Everyone's there being a part of it. It's important to us because it shows the company culture. It's not just 2 guys going around the track. It's the entire company. It's everyone that works here. You put their heart and soul into every single package that goes out, and it's truly a company that cares about their customers.
For me, it's we get to feel like we all have a little piece in this car. And it's not just a piece by writing your name on it. It's the fact that we're all doing work every day, and part of that work is to support this bigger initiative, this brand building initiative, and to do things to make sure this program exists and sustainable. We've got the right culture and we've got the right brand And this is an opportunity for us to take the brand and really bring it to scale. And that's gonna take some risks.
Next time on The Paddock. What's funny about revealing the cars at that specific moment is that it appears to be that everything is going really smoothly and that we've got it all together. Half the livery's not on it. One of them didn't run. We couldn't even pump the brakes on Michael's car because the lines weren't connected. They're not even remotely race cars at that point. Time is running out. With so much left to do, the FC Puro crew scrambles to get the cars ready for the first race of the 2019 season.
We don't know if the apparel is going to come on time.
Oh, we got Eric Shellman and I don't know where the cars are made, up in Michigan somewhere.
We don't know how the sequential gearboxes are going to perform.
Our actual engineer in Colorado, and then we got TIV in New Jersey. We got to bring the cars to TIV, and
I don't know how Michael and Nate are going to do second year as professional drivers.
it's literally like all of these moving pieces are just all around here, and then in a week it's just gonna go whoop, and I'll have to off the line and go together. Yeah, stress level.
Well, one name on the car isn't enough for you? You need two?